Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Go Via or Go Home. I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today we're doing another layout update. It's been quite a bit since I have done one, and this is number 21. So we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that I've done with the layout. I'm going to do a bit more and show you what I'm working on, some of the things that I've corrected over the past month or so, and we'll take a look. So in the normal standards, we always start this part of the layout, which obviously this is usually my collects junk and odds and ends kind of module. But big thing for this here, I've had a lot of issues with this track here. And anybody who's ever seen me run trains here or anybody who's come by, they know that I've had a lot of issues with this particular curve. That's been corrected, finally. So I would have issues where the train would be coming around the corner here, and right in and around here, it would just derail. I don't know why, there's nothing there, and as you can see, the track just kind of, there's no kinks to it, there's nothing wrong with the physical rail. It would just skip it, and I think it's because it kind of goes down on an angle here, but I've corrected all that, glued it back in place. I can run 6-axle or 4-axle, 3-axle or 2-axle over it, and there's no problems. So I'm happy that that's fixed, so I can actually start filling this in a bit more here and doing more of the scene work now that I know that these three tracks are good. And yeah, I'm excited to actually get something done with this because it's been a long time coming. Now we go over here. Not too much is done in this area here. It's just collecting cars right now. I do have the train station for back here. If you saw one of my mail call videos where I got a bunch of kits, I finally have the train station for it. So that'll go in there eventually. But I have added this. I painted it white, and I have these cool decals from my friend Brian. And Brian, he prints off a whole bunch of cool decals depending on the road names that you do, or in this case he did a cool Go Via or Go Home decal for me, so I thought I'd put it right front center there for you. I still have to obviously do the black around it and touch up a little bit of the white because it stuck to the white and it pulled it off when I was putting on the decal. But if anybody needs any decals done for their layout, let me know and I can send you an email, and he'll do up some nice ones for you. But yeah, so that, again, not too much has been done. I still have to paint that black, and still no real scenic here. But from the last time, I did not have ballast. This is all, I guess I can push these cars down a bit. This is all ballast now. It still needs a lot of work. Back here isn't done yet, but all in here is. So that's all ballast all the way down. Push these back. And this is also ballast in here. I do have to fix up this area a little bit. That's all ballasted. Same with the tracks in here. And you guys saw in the last video that I'd gotten the green done here and a little bit of ballast, but I continued that ballast right down in. And you'll notice that there is a bit of a transition here between the, there's a bit of a brownish gray tinge to it, and then it does go into the gray, which, is kind of neat for representation there for the different modules. So I didn't make it just a quick stop, it's more very transition. And of course, Canadian Tire, Mark M&M Rails made me some decals, so I'm gonna add those later at some point here. But I haven't really done too much. I did weather this a little bit here, and with the new fence system that came in, I'm probably gonna be adding a fence right along there. We'll see closer to the end of the month. And I did slightly kind of weather the track a little bit. I'm gonna do a bit of a better job there, but I guess the ties, just oil spill, whatnot. grease, dirt, whatever. I'm gonna be adding a bit more to that, but for now, this section is, you know, more or less on hold until I get, you know, more done elsewhere, and then I'll come back and do some touch-ups. All right, next, we're coming around the corner here. Kind of stops there, but I've been working a little bit on this area here. You can see that I've got a bridge going over it. Just it's just a temporary thing. I thought I'd try this out just for now. Obviously these need to be cut and whatnot. I've dropped feeders from that point right there all the way down. So there's feeders down there, and there's feeders here and on the bridge and whatnot. So I'll be able to connect those up underneath. And then I colored the track. I know it's kind of hard to see, but take my word for it, I did it. It's all sprayed, and then I cleaned the rails. So eventually I'll be able to ballast all the way up this, but I want to do, you know, some sort of a bridge tunnel thing here, overpass, maybe put some vehicles up there, make it look a little bit fancier. Working on my crossing section here, you can see that that's still there, and then I've got a building that I have not touched. It's just the side of a building, but getting there, slowly getting there. And then of course as we go across the bridge here, well, not really a bridge, but more or less bridges from module to module. Let me turn on the light. There we go, much brighter now. Wow, now we can see. Okay, so I dropped feeders for here as well and painted the rails, or not the rails, but the ties. I painted the ties all the way up and obviously going around there. So all that track is done. Again, just filling in. Gonna have to fill in around it here and do some scenery work on it. Honestly, I should really get this done, because like that's honestly just a little section and it's really nothing to do whatsoever. So I should really just get that done and over with. Kind of like with that bridge section over there, how like it took me no time to do it whatsoever. I should just do all my little sections first, get them out of the way. But then we move over to here, paint can alley. This is supposed to be my scrapyard. The only metal here I'm seeing are these spray cans. I did get a little kit there. I'm pretty sure it's a, what is it, a pike stuff kit? Pike stuff, yes. It's a prefab warehouse, but it's going to be my scrapyard. I don't know if I showed that to you guys last time, but once the track goes in here, there's going to be a scrapyard, and it'll be nice. And that's basically, I got the feeders dropped for this here, so I'll be able to wire that up, and I got it painted, the tracks painted right to here, which is really neat as well. So something that you guys didn't see last time, because it wasn't here last time, were these two side tracks. This is kind of my, I'm calling it a yard, even though it's stupid small. I might even add one more switch here to send another track up. But that's basically, I have a siding here where I can keep some cars, and this will eventually here, this will go down and then into the scrapyard there. And obviously you have your, you know, your two main lines, they come in this way. We got my tempo here with my brand new station that I had completed. I'm just gonna send this down a bit so we can see. Whoop. I'm really happy with it. It turned out really nice. And of course the station platform, thinking about making it a little bit longer. The problem is that it, you know, if I get one kit of that, it come like I just need to go to here. So that's like one of these or two. I could probably put the other two on the other side of the track there just to kind of extend it. Who knows? Might do that though, just to give it a bit of a longer walkway there. But yeah, I still haven't glued down this track yet either. I have so many little things to do. But that was primarily because I needed to know how far I was putting that and, you know, with the station and whatnot. So now that that's all in place, I can kind of start finalizing certain track pieces here. Also with this here, see if I can slide that down. Yeah. So I've added track here as well. So I've got the switches and whatnot. It all goes down. There's a runaround. And this switch here actually comes off this way. Haven't added it yet. I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, basically, again, just some holding tracks here for cars, good for switching out and whatnot. So you can basically drop your cars here, go in and pick up whatever, and then back those in. And because we've got it's kind of like 3 mains, at least it goes out that way, but these are the 2 passenger mains, and this is a freight main. And then they intersect after. But this can also be used as a siding as well. So you can do work right on this track here while other trains are going by. And there's no need to interfere with that because it just, see, it comes off the main down there. So that's basically what I have for that. But as I said here, this switch here, we're going to go off this way into another industry, which is my Pillsbury factory. So you guys obviously saw my video, my kit build for this. Since then, I've raised up the land in this area because it was like there was nothing here. So as soon as I built that, I'm like, okay, I got to do this. So I put some risers underneath, put the piece of wood, and then some foam on top. And then, as you can see, like the track, it actually goes down, and then it'll go around in, and then there's some receiving doors there. The building is not in its final location, but it's basically, that's roughly where it's gonna go. We've got the bay doors here for trucks, and M&M Rails, of course, being the cool guy he is, he actually made me some signage for it. So the Pillsbury thing is gonna go right there like that. And the Pillsbury, the individuals are gonna go down the sides of the tanks. I made me an Ontario Northland one for fun. Pillsbury, I think I'm gonna put that right over the door at the front. And the Pillsbury logos, he made me a whole bunch of these, which is really awesome too. I'm gonna put those on maybe some trailers. I think I want to get better trailers than these, but I will see what I can find. And I'm gonna put some Pillsbury custom trailers there. And I believe it was Athearn. Athearn just released some hoppers that are Pillsbury hoppers, so I'm gonna get a pack of those. That way it's a full-on Pillsbury factory. Yeah, I love the idea of it, and you know, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's a do what you want kind of layout, so gotta loves me some Pillsbury. So we're gonna go around the corner here, and one of the major things I want to mention, if you didn't notice, I actually have my backdrop pieces up all the way around now. I went out and I got some wood, super cheap. It's like $10 for a 4x8 sheet. I got them to cut it down. It was like $2 to get my 1 foot strips in, and I actually got all the way around now. So that's great. So I just got to buy an actual backdrop to hang, just like I did on the other side. And the scene's gonna start to really come to life at that point. So really excited. But yeah, let's continue on with our North Bay yard. I'm really starting to feel like Scott from What a Mess Railroad, because that's kind of how this is feeling. But with purpose, I can reassure you. I used some of the bridge parts here to make that, but I've got extra parts, so I just have to finish building and then correct this. Now, again, I haven't done too much work with this, but things are being finalized here as far as track plan, and obviously this side here. When I go around to the other side, I'll explain this a little bit more to you as well. The building is about ready to be made. I have a lot of the parts, and I'm really excited to get that built. I just need a few more switches here to kind of complete this, where it comes in, and then it's gonna go. There's 2 leads there to go inside the building, and it has to connect up to here. And then I also have to send another track back here, and I'm gonna have a wall here, or a hole in the wall, and a track's gonna go through that. Now I might do it behind the building so you don't really see it, but yeah, which is another huge thing. I'm putting a wall divider down here. So it's going from 4 feet wide to about, I think that's about 1.75 feet, almost 2 feet, but I wanted to crunch it down. The actual North Bay yard, it's wider than it is long, and the way that the tracks go, I don't have enough space to do exactly how I would want to do it. So I'm just doing basically half of it, which is the shops here on this side, as opposed to all the shops on the back side. So gonna put the wall partition down. I'm gonna put it right down to the wall there, and I'm gonna figure out, you know, tunnel wise there, how that's gonna go. And it's gonna come along here, and you can see I'm figuring this out as I go here, but I'll show you. So I have 2 switches here. I have 2 switches here. One here, which there's nothing going from that yet. And then I had this one here. Originally, I was gonna have this one here go in and go to a turntable. You can kind of see the circle there on the wood. I took up all the foam, but you can kind of see how I have this, obviously, with the wood that's down there. But because I'm putting a wall partition down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this bridge, and then I'm actually going to put another part of a bridge here, and then the wall partition is gonna come down to here. This way I have this going under part of the bridge as well, but that's gonna go to a wall. And then the wall is gonna stop maybe about here. So that track here, which you can see is kind of pinned here, what's gonna happen is this is gonna come up and go around and go to the back of the building here, which generally the real North Bay shop has 2 doors, and then back a little bit more, there's another 2 doors. I'm just gonna put 1, and it's just gonna be another storage thing back there. Just to, you know, hide some more stuff, but it just has to make sense, right? So that track is gonna go into there. And this one here, this is gonna go into here, which is gonna be the start of my paper mill. All right, so I hope you guys are following along here. Hopefully this all makes sense, but we're getting there, So this track here is coming into the paper mill. So I've got all this area here, and my cat, say hi. Yeah, she's trying to sleep. So I have to fill all this in here, fun stuff. I've got lots of foam to work with, so it's okay. So track's gonna go like this into here. And I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna be set up yet. Keeping in mind the wall partition is gonna go down to here and then kind of go back in, and then it's gonna be blocking all that. But yeah, the foam, like I've already got a piece of foam down here, and this is all gonna be paper mill. I've got all the paper mill kits, so I'm gonna be doing something with that. And going down this way, I guess I should be able to take all this stuff off here now, because it's all, this was yesterday that I did this. So yeah, the cool thing about this is that I can take this out if I want. It's not permanent, but it sits there, so it works. And down this way, because remember I said that there's going to be a track that's going to come through here, so it's probably going to go like this, and then connect with that, you know, the switch that was over there. And this is going to be ethanol. I'm going to put in my full ethanol plant here, which I have to get back from Brian. another Brian, because he doesn't want it anymore. So I'm gonna just buy it back from him, and then I'm gonna put it all in here. I'm gonna have a bunch of tracks, gonna get some tankers, and reopen the Great Canadian ethanol plant for this layout, which should be fun because I like the ethanol and running tankers and all that. There's the bakery there. So yeah, you can see nothing here has really been done except for the backdrop. Everything here is normal. You'll notice that both backdrops align, which is nice. Whoop, stepped on foam. Nothing here, just my extra cars and whatnot. track, more track, rock face, which brings us right back around to here. I still have to do the water. That's a project and a half. Still haven't put the fascia up yet for that because of the fact that I still have to cut it down. Lots of little things to do, right? I'd sooner spend my time, you know, running trains and whatnot than cutting wood. Unfortunately, it's just how it is sometimes. But I'm getting there, so yeah. Let me know what you think, because you know, everybody's opinion is valid, and it's good to have other opinions, of course, see what you would do in certain situations, right? Like I've got this whole section here for track and whatnot. I could put buildings, you know, backdrop buildings here. That's 2 feet right here. And then there's like a little bit of a, like I can put a piece here to, you know, kind of contour this and then whatnot. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, that's all she wrote, basically. The tracks, the main line is great. Alexis is great. Yeah. And I'm getting more building kits, more kits. And things are really coming together, and I could not be happier. Yep. So we'll just go back over to the other side. So one of the major things right now is getting a lot of these kits built. This is the paper mill here. I'm just working on it. And, you know, watch for the video that I'm going to put out in regards to this, building it, painting it, you know, just giving it my overall rating as to what I think about it. That should be out soon. If I can ever get a chance to work on it. I'm so busy lately, between GVO After Dark, life, and all the other little things that I do with the layout, trying to get as much done as I can with what little time I have, but it's all good. One major thing that I am focusing on is more or less operations now, wanting to do more operations. I could run trains in loops around this thing all live long day, but when it comes to, you know, model railroading, a major thing is operations and, you know, dropping off, delivering, picking up, and all that stuff. So I want to be able to do more of that, and in order to do that, I have to get my industries in, my sidings and whatnot, and trying to focus more on that now that, you know, I can do the whole loop thing with the main line. I think I'm gonna start getting more industries in, more stub tracks and sidings, and yeah, so that's a goal. As for how long that's going to take, I have no idea. I still have a bunch of switches to get, and yeah, it's not quick. I'm pretty sure that I'm still going to be working on sidings and whatnot for the rest of the year now, because last year it was basically just focusing on getting the main line going and whatnot, and now that it's at a place where I can freely run trains and know that there is minimal to no derailments and whatnot, I'm pretty happy with that. And that's a big thing, because you don't want to be running trains or filming trains or doing lives and all your cars are doing are derailing and whatnot. It's not fun. So trying to make sure that all of the track work is, top-notch stuff. I'm not pro or anything, but I definitely try my hardest to make sure that everything works. That's the important part. So that and collecting more trains, stuff coming out all the time. Yeah, really excited for all the new releases and whatnot. And I love building kits, because that's my bread and butter right there. So I've got lots more kits to do, big ones, little ones, and even some custom ones as well, where I'm doing some scratch building. So stay tuned for all that. This week we're doing a live running, so we're going to be running some trains. I've got a special guest coming by as well. I'm not sure if Mark is going to make it this week or this month or whatever for the live show, but or not the live show, but the live op sessions and whatnot. But I do have a special guest coming by, and there's going to be twice as many cars on my layout. Let me just put it that way. So that's going to be Thursday at 8, and then we've got GVO After Dark, which is at the end of the month, which will be in 2 weeks. I believe it's the 27th. That is the live show, and the three of us should be here for that. And we're gonna have some new products to show you, and lots to talk about. Absolutely lots to talk about. So see you then. Thanks for watching. This was layout update number 21. I've got to get to work, and then we'll be able to do number 22. Until then, I've got a train to catch. Bye now.